Oh my God. Get into the room. You've got to prove your love to me. I already did a get into the room and I wasn't unmuted. One thing at a time. I mean, God damn it. I got the timer working. Come into the room, please. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Welcome. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Feelings will be hurt. Dusties will be dusted, but the show must go on. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to bringing this conversation to y'all. Thank you for being here. If you're new, please subscribe if you want to join the conversation. This live is going to be based off of an old article, right? This article is from The Atlantic, 2015. So it's an old article. It's floated around before, but whenever it rears its head, here they come and they feelings, right? So I thought the response, right, the defensiveness and the response to this time warranted a conversation on this topic. Now, oh, and welcome. I'm DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the Purpleprint. Thank you for being here. Did I already say that? Gosh. All right. So marrying down. Marrying down. Well, sometimes it is what it is, right? I mean, people are triggered by the phrase marrying down. But I mean, if you're good with yourself, you wouldn't be triggered by two words, right? I didn't read this article as an indictment on one group of men. So let's start there. I did not read this article and be like, they're talking about this group of men. So I think that if you see this article floating around and you feel like you're, one of the uneducated, broke, economically struggling men that they're talking about, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But, there's that. So I'm not looking at it on those terms because that's not how I looked at it. I don't know why, these guys want to attach themselves to the most negative shit, right? Like, I don't get it. If you know your history, then there's certainly nothing to be defensive about, right? Or is there? SC Johnson, welcome. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay because the audio is, I've set the audio up a little differently. So if there's any problems with hearing me, please let me know. Get into it, yeah. Let's get into it, yeah. Okay. I think this is not to judge who anyone chooses to be with. That's not why I'm going over this article. We're talking about these issues on a macro, not a micro level. Again, that's what I do over here. I look at the larger picture. I'm not interested in hurting people's feelings. If your feelings get hurt, ooh, but that doesn't interest me. I vibrate higher than that. Hallelujah. Okay. I want to go over this article to address the ramifications of not considering how your mating choices impact you and your children's lives. And when I say that, yes, I am talking to women, specifically Black women, who don't seem to understand that as a collective. I think Black men understand that as a collective. I think other groups of people understand that as well as a collective. Who you mate with generally is going to impact you and your children's lives. I think other groups get that, right? So again, I'm not looking to disparage anyone, as I've said before. It's not, but as I've said before on this channel, right? It's not our job to protect your desirability. When as a collective, you've worked single-handedly for generations at this point, single-handedly, to destroy the image and desirability of Black women. So good luck. So good luck with these numbers. Good luck with these statistics. Y'all wasn't using numbers and statistics. Y'all was using hurt feelings, Audio's good. Thank you, SC Johnson. Appreciate it. Percy's in the house. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. May I interject some male energy in the chat? Hello, Percy. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Appreciate the super chat. You're a good guy. Appreciate you. So yeah. Y'all have a bunch of pick me out there who work 24/7 to protect your desirability. You know, I mean, hats off to them. Hats off to them, because they remind me of a lot of you know, political commentators and pundits that you're like, you can't be serious. I mean, you'd have to be ignorant as hell at this point to believe what you're saying, and yet they continue on. So, you know, put your focus and energy onto those women. I see, you know, I didn't know white manosphere existed. I thought it was only manosphere. Okay. But when I did my Jordan Peterson video, hi Mocha Mommy, it's good to see you. When I did my Jordan Peterson video, white manosphere came over and said, look, just to be clear, we're not for reparations. So they made it clear they're not for reparations, which, surprise, surprise, I don't care. I don't expect you to be. It's not, you're not in a position to be or not to be. That is not the question. Whether it's just no black, you understand? So that don't matter. But they also said, we find black manosphere to be too emotional and not grasping of concepts. And I don't see any pictures of white women in white manosphere drenched in body fluids the way that I've seen just the past few days here on YouTube from not only dusty male alleged content creators, but also their pick-me's who still didn't get picked, okay? So you want to be mad about something, you go find all those pictures of women your color and your image drenched in fluids that y'all think is cute and funny to put on out there, like you're hurting anyone besides yourself. And that's something that white manosphere understands. They're not going to degrade their entire race to make a point about gender. They're not going to do that. But y'all throw the whole thing away. That's why I said y'all don't understand the concept of race. So the fact that you expect race loyalty is a joke. We're moving on. Moving on. T. Thomas is in the building. What's up? He said, peace, DanieSteel, and ladies in the chat. Looking forward to your wisdom on this topic. Thank you, T. Thomas. Resurrected. Do you want to resurrect? Okay. All right. Okay. Again, I didn't write this article. I didn't bring it up. It's an old article. It's been trending on social media, so I'm talking about it. You got to always explain, why are you even talking about it? Because that's what I get paid to do. That's what I get paid to do. Yeah, I don't come on here to talk for free. You understand? People want me to talk on this. Duh. Okay. It's trending on social media. I'm talking about it. If the interesting thing was, a lot of black men said that they felt the article was racist, but then they used the article as an excuse to attack black women and put them in their place, right? That's what they did. That's what the response was to this article going around. They didn't say, hey, men of other races, right? They were like, you bitches don't deserve, right? F you, bitch, right? They started doing that. And then they want someone to take them seriously. So that's real progressive, right? All right, so 25K a year is a lot to never get to see. I promise you. 25K a year. There's people trying to downplay this number. They're like, 25K a year. That's a hefty number to never see. Because you don't care about your dating and mating choices. This is a capitalistic society where money matters. Guess what? I guess a lot of people don't understand this. There are plenty of places in the world where you can go, you can live, that are not capitalistic societies. And it wouldn't take much at this point It wouldn't take much if you detest having to compete in this society as it is, because this is a competitive society, and people from Europe, where in many countries it is customary that a lot of shops close in the middle of the day for an hour. It's not no lunch break, half an hour for you, and then y'all take a half an hour and you're standing up in the break room. It's the whole shop is shut down. You can't, literally, there's some places from like 4 to 7. Actually, I would say 2 to 5, from like 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. When I was in Italy, you couldn't find nowhere to eat between, at any given time between that time, because a lot of places in Europe, they take that time off. They're like, whoa, working hard all morning. Let's take some time, real time, not half an hour. So this is a competitive capitalistic society. Mokamami says, yes, girl, yes. Why do they think that porn is the real world? Right. They're like, look at her. I'm like, it's a lot of people covered in fluids, y'all. It's a lot of people covered in fluids, okay? Post all the pics. The majority culture is addressing the trajectory of their population. They are not going to have this happen. Exactly. No, see, nobody has to move for you. And we'll get to that later in my commentary, right? Because y'all still have this twisted idea that because the majority culture is saying one thing, that they're then supposed to move in a certain way to support what they say, what they claim. Y'all haven't caught on to the game yet? I'm a person that catches on to game quicker than the average bear. Peep game, okay? They're gonna say one thing and then they're gonna do another, okay? Okay? That's how it works when you're playing games. This is a capitalist society. This is a game. I keep telling y'all. You just figured out chess versus checkers. Now all of a sudden you're like, I'm playing chess. It's Squid Games. It's Squid Games in a capitalist society. You live, you win, or you die. You understand? It's Squid Games, baby. So again, there are plenty of places and plenty of cultures. You can go to Canada and get a slower lifestyle. You can go either side of the border and things will be a lot less competitive, right? So you can't live in a society and then reject all of the components of it, because it is what it is. And women have to accept that in a patriarchy. Women have to expect that and accept it. I remember when I was growing up and I would be in grade school, and they'd be like, who wants to help me move this table? And I'd be like, me! And then they'd pick 2 boys, right? And I didn't have a word in 2nd grade to describe sexism, but I was like, why do they keep picking boys? So women are taught at a very early age that this society is what it is. People are going to say one thing, but it's done another way. You would think Black people would understand that concept as well. When it comes to marrying, right? Shouldn't you marry for love? Of course, you should marry for love. You should marry for love of yourself. My God, heaven forbid. Who else gonna do it? Because I promise you, the person you marry is gonna be loving themselves. You should marry for love of yourself. You should marry for love of your desired future. You should marry for love of your children. You should marry for love of who you've partnered with. And in a capitalistic society, money matters. We playing games here like that's not the case? What's going on? Marrying down or getting what they're worth. That's what these guys who are triggered by the article want to know, right? Are they marrying down, or are they just getting what they're worth, right? Because you see, they're dealing with reality. The reality is, Black women are very race loyal. They're the least likely to date out of their group than any group of people. Naima, what's up? Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. So they know that. And they don't want the women that don't have a problem with dating down to be influenced by this lingo. That's what it is. Are they marrying down, or are they getting what they're worth? I think it's both. I think if you're willing to date down, then you're getting what you're worth. I'm not going to suggest otherwise to you, but what's going to happen is, as the income moves up over here, you don't get to come over to me with your hands out. See, what's keeping a lot of Black women, they love to talk about the average Black woman is worth $1. Okay. Your net worth is $1. $4 in a food stamp. You don't get to come over to the ones that use their brains and say, help me out, help me out. You don't get to be helped out. You're going to have to help yourself. Life is tough. Love should have kept you in the bed last night. Love will keep it together. Love should answer all your prayers. So, I think that if you marry down, then that must be what you think you're worth. And that's on you. I'm here to remind you it doesn't have to be that way. Value yourself first and foremost, okay? And it was going to private school while simultaneously growing up in the foster care system in the hood that taught me this. I literally lived the disparities that I saw. And I saw these disparities on a daily basis, okay? So that's where I got the common sense from. There are people on here that y'all are listening to that need mental help. I already told y'all I have a therapist, okay? There are people that y'all listen to, might get some type of cult following, that are steering you in the wrong direction. They want you to be in the bottom with them. And they're disguising it as empowerment, and it's not. It's not. So, there's been this conversation that a lot of the guys that are triggered by this have been having, which is, well, we're all Black, so we all have nothing. No, see, y'all have to learn how to read. Y'all have to learn how to read. Learn how to read. The title of the article says, marrying down costs educated women $25K a year. It doesn't say marrying down costs women $25K a year. So we're not both entering with nothing just because we're both Black, because I took my ass from the hood, worse hoods than I know any other nigga to live in, just to be honest. I've never met another Black man that's lived in the rough hoods I've lived in, besides some of the real niggas I've met in New York. Okay, real niggas. Okay, but a lot of these niggas on here, the ones I had a daddy. Okay, so what the fuck do you know about growing up in the hood and not wanting to see that shit for the rest of your life? Kick rocks. Marrying down costs educated women. So we're not both coming with nothing. If we both grew up in the hood and I took my ass to school, cops was knocking on my door, drug deals, in and out of the house, nickel dime bags. shootouts, cops coming. They didn't talk to the kids in the hood the way they talk to the kids at my private school. I noticed that disparity too. I still took my behind to school, and you better take your behind to a trade school. Better do something. Better figure it out. Better learn something. You got to be learning something, because I didn't go to school for 7 years, 4 years of undergrad, double major cum laude, you heard. Graduated in 4 years, you heard, double major. I didn't get not one care package. I didn't get one visit from a parent. Deadbeat daddy's still alive, though. He couldn't send a care package. Clown. And with nothing, I moved to New York on my own. I'm a woman. So there's no excuses in this life. This is a capitalist society. Play ball. Play ball. Y'all know how to play ball. Play ball. What's up? Okay, so anyways, thank you everyone for being here. I can't touch all your comments because I got a lot to get through, but I see ya. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I really do. I really heart y'all. Make sure to thumbs up the video and subscribe. So again, we're not both entering the relationship with nothing just because we're both Black. Getting an education gives you something. And they can say it's not true, but they're lying. Because again, at the least, it'll give you access to connections you elsewise would never have. That's not nothing. And in a capitalist society, you're supposed to play the game. I've talked about this before. You don't get on the tennis court and try to play with a basketball. Play the game. If you want to change the game, that costs money too. Boo. Ooh, okay, so an education is something that can get you out of nothing. If you were born in abject poverty, the way I was, I saw my grandma struggle to buy me school shoes. My great-grandmother. And I'm going to go 7 years in college and lay up with any who shot John? I'll be damned. I'll be damned. It'll never happen. I got the spirit of my grandmother in me. It'll never happen. So men don't get to define the true purpose of relationships. Men love to talk about the true purpose of relationships. You don't get to define that. You can define it for yourself as a man over there in Manland, where you are, in Dustville. You don't get to define that for women. And no other group of women adheres to that. Okay? They play ball when it comes to one thing. And that's keeping you Black folk at the bottom. That's when they join together. No questions asked. In case you haven't noticed, what do you think this two-party system is? What do you think this two-party system is? The two-party system where nothing ever changes. They're tossing the ball back and forth to one another. It's a game of keep away. And they shame y'all into voting for whoever the hell they want so that it looks like it's fair. Y'all understand power? So society influences the purpose of relationships, but ultimately it's up to the individual. Women have to define that for themselves, or they will very much likely end up with a user. Because a man is not going to tell you what's going to benefit you. A man is not going to tell you what's going to benefit the relationship. A man is going to tell you one thing. We're going to schedule one song and one song only. A man's going to tell you one thing and one thing only. And that's what directly benefits him. All right? That's how men work. Ladies, in case you didn't know that. So I think it's hilarious that women listen to men about how relationships work and think that they're going to be winning when it comes to the tango. There's not a man out there that's going to tell you how you can win in a relationship with a man. It's not a man out there. They're going to tell you what they want, point blank period, what's going to benefit them. Keep that in mind, ladies. You'll end up with a user if you don't. Again, before we get directly into the article, there is a lack of comprehension and context. You can't debate with subjective people. These guys are way too defensive to have a serious discussion with. That's why Sea House is a mess, an absolute ghetto ratchet mess over in the black portion of Sea House. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because they're letting those clowns use the same 5 completely wrong statistics. I told you, they'll take a picture of a bar graph. They'll take a picture of a circle chart and be arguing with women who spent years in college. I'm not entertaining that bullshit. Relationships. You know what? Let me stop real quick. Catch up on some of y'all comments. Not gonna be able to get all of them. Sorry, but let's see. Nia said, I'm engaged, but when I was dating, I didn't date potential. Cost of living is going up. Inflation is going up. I need someone that will provide. Period. Period. Lasadra says, need to have my same financial level or more when you step to me. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? That you're on my level. Yeah, you're on my level. That you're on my level? That's offensive? Then be offended. 10% said yes. Do better, queens. Get some self. Oh no, the polls. Oh Lord, y'all up here messing up the polls. 10% said yeah, they married for life. If the man, and notice my use of words. See, I didn't trick you, baby. I said, are you willing to marry for love if the person makes significantly less than you? Significantly? Okay. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though. Okay. Mokamami says, developing feminine confidence is a process. There needs to be these lessons, period. And again, I watched and observed a lot of the women around me when I was growing up in private school. I watched and observed a lot of women around me in the hood when I was growing up in foster care. And I made a choice. I decided I'm going to follow what my great grandmother says. She seems to be the only person in the whole of the hood with some common sense. My great grandma and her friends. So I'm going to listen to these old folk and what they got to say. Hi, Alexander. Good to see you. Arway says, I think this just shows how scared a lot of Black women are to be alone. Yeah. Yep. Love Sound says, to answer your poll, it depends. I feel you, because what if the D... Okay, all right, y'all. Y'all know. Don't be zigmatized now. Don't be zigmatized. Okay, Mocha Mommy says, Happy Veterans Day to all the sisters and brothers in arms. Military sisters can benefit from this info too. Absolutely. Happy Veterans Day. We appreciate your service. This is, again, the military is one of the only ways that Black people have in this country to economically position themselves into a better life. And we salute our brothers and sisters who did what they had to do for their family and for their people. Love Sound says, if he's ambitious and has goals, yes. If he's settling, nah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I used to, chill with guys that, they were fun. We had a lot of laughs, but I didn't see any ambition. Then they do what guys do when you're hanging out in your 20s, right? Let's hook up. I'm like, hook up for what? Hook up for what? I'll see you tomorrow at the party. Okay. No. I've always dated mindfully, okay? Except for a few times. Your 20s are your 20s. Okay. Maria Wilburn says, I don't have any siblings. My cousin and I knew at an early age that before the age of 10, we're going to college. Good for you, Maria. Absolutely good for you. That was the same thing with me and my siblings. And yeah, you just have to make that choice and make that understanding in your life and let nothing stand in your way. Maria Wilburn says, my great-grandmother was a school teacher. My grandmother's life changed when her mother died when she was 4. I'm researching my family. My great-grandfather married my great-grandmother to come up. Interesting. Happens all the time. And these guys never complain when they're the ones doing it, which statistically is going to continue happening. Statistically, right? Because if women are marrying down, then that means men are marrying up. And they're offended by this. Well, but y'all are sitting there twerking to the fact that y'all don't want to go to college anymore. Yeah, we're not going to college. Okay, you ain't going to get a college-educated woman. That's changing. That is changing. And the article talks about that. It talks about assortative mating, right? Assortative mating. So it literally talks about how more and more as we learn more about life, and what does assortative mating mean? It basically means when you're choosing a partner based on similar characteristics instead of some romance novel idea or rom-com idea that you just see someone and love hits. Most of the time, that's a man manipulating you. Most of the time, that's a man love bombing you. That ain't real love neither. That. And me and my husband felt like we had a strong connection when we, met up again. Because I told you, we met in undergrad, but we started dating when we were both in grad school. And when we met up again, after we hadn't seen each other from undergrad, we both felt like we had a strong connection. But, to say, oh, I fell in love and I just can't even think. I can't even use ration because I'm in love. That's crazy. So you have to understand that. And I'll touch on this later as well. But assortative mating is happening more and more in this country. So that means if you're a guy happily twerking about the fact that you're not going to college, you're not going to get a college-educated woman. You'll get the women like you that didn't go to college. What's the problem? Y'all working really hard on here to convince them not to go. Y'all working really hard. So I'm sure they're not going to go because they want to listen to you. They want to please you. Let them cater to you because this is your day. Let them cater to you. That's where you're going to be going. You're not going to keep getting the way y'all used to get. These college, these millennials will probably be the last generation of college educated women that y'all get. The millennials. I don't think it's going to happen for y'all with Gen Z. I don't think it's going to happen. I wonder if the ones that voted yes are men. Yeah, who knows? It's open to everyone to say. It's open to everyone. The survey, I don't know if it's still up there, but if it is and you want to take it, go ahead. ROA says, I work on a campus, and when I process students' information, I notice the majority of the fathers have a higher education than the mothers, mainly because the mother had to stay home with the kids. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in academia, it usually gets more traditional. I thought that's what y'all wanted. Ugh. I mean, that's what I've noticed in academia as well, that it's very traditional. And the woman concedes her career, ultimately concedes her career to support the family, to support the home, to support the man in his career. So, ROA says, if you date down, you're literally going to be the main person responsible for your kids and your whole family. Yeah. Love don't pay the bills. Okay. Love don't pay the bills. They mad. Hey, Fred DK. Hi. Hi, my world. Hey. Oh, yeah. All right. So let me play a clip for y'all real quick about a really cute, this guy that's talking about this. That's my type. That's my type. Okay. Period. He is my type. He is a doctor. His name is Dr. Travis from The Doctors. You heard? Okay. Yeah, he's my type. All right. I'm a sapiosexual. I've told y'all that. I can only be attracted to intelligent men. I have no choice. Okay, especially when it comes to men, but people in general, right? Because I'm also pansexual. Oh, y'all didn't know that? I love everyone. Okay, let's listen to Dr. Travie. All right, that's what he wanted me to call him. What Dr. Travie has to say about women marrying down. Please take a listen.
Smart, single woman still searching for Mr. Right? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. I don't even know how to react to this, but a new study.
Did y'all hear that black woman in the audience? Yeah. She was mad excited. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's how it gets when you're around Dr. Travie. Okay.
He suggests. Yeah. Are you? Yeah. I don't even know how to react to this, but a new study suggests. I don't know how to react to this. So it suggests that if starting a family is your goal, your solution might be marrying down with a less intelligent man. I don't look. I don't bring these headlines. The headline stirring quite some.
You heard? He didn't even know how to address this. He's like, I don't even, it's like, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll talk about some issues that, like I said, I grew up in poverty. I have a very different life. I had a very different life in many ways than my husband, who grew up in the suburbs. And I'll be like, oh, let me talk about this, and that. And he's like, he'll do just the same thing Dr. Travie did. I'm like, I don't even he was like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to even down. My damn, you can't even talk about it. God damn, they don't even want to talk about. I'll be honest. My husband hates crime shows. If you know me, I love crime shows. My husband hates crime shows. He's like, I don't want to think about this. Oh my gosh, he hates reality TV. He's like, oh my gosh, that person was embarrassed. I feel so bad for them. I'm like, what are you talking about, right? So, educated men that are doing well for themselves, they don't understand the ratchet parts of life. They don't get it. And it makes them uncomfortable to even talk about it. He is visibly uncomfortable even suggesting to a woman that she marry down. Okay? And if you heard the audience, they booed. Okay? And nobody wants that. All right, let's continue.
Controversy. So Yale University questioned 150 American and Israeli women in their 30s with high levels of education who had chosen to freeze their eggs. They found that 85% of the women were single. The majority opted for egg freezing due to the lack of a stable partner. They then concluded that there just aren't enough educated men to go around.
It's easy for you to laugh.
Stable men out there. But ultimately, so it was a male problem. There just aren't enough men out there that are worthy. So they suggest that women might have to expand their notions of Mr. Right. I don't know. What do you think about this as a woman?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's funny. First of all, starting with the basics.
Wipe that smirk off your face right now.
Immediately.
But it's true because there is some data out there that if you look at the number of women with education, it surpasses men. So there's a disconnect where women are in many countries more highly educated.
70 countries, women have more 70 countries have more university educated females than men.
Which doesn't necessarily mean education
and intelligence. Yeah, exactly. So and then the studies also looked at like financial well-being and things like that. I will say money isn't everything, right? So I do think that you should marry for love. But I also want to acknowledge the fact that there was a 2010 study at Cornell University, and they found that if a man was more likely to cheat if he was financially dependent upon his female counterpart.
Yeah, because she doesn't work all day.
My issue is he doesn't have any money, and we said that's okay because money isn't everything, but he doesn't have any money and he doesn't have any morals. Like, how is that winning for me?
That's not good.
We grow up, whether male or female, and you have this just idealistic notion from the time you're young that you find the perfect person. And maybe the perfect person you're looking for isn't exactly what you would write down on a piece of paper. And I think that's maybe part of all this is we have this vision. Well, if you're college educated, you want someone else who's college educated. Well, you know what? You could easily fall in love with someone who.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong there.
Yeah.
My point is that I don't think you should settle and just find somebody for the sake of starting a family because you feel like your biologic clock is ticking.
So, Drew, what do you do then? It's easier for you because
I know it's easier for me.
Yeah, it's easy
because I just worry that family, that the family, the kids, the marriage has a higher chance of failure under those circumstances.
Okay, so did you guys catch what the black woman doctor said? All right, and shout out to my nurse the other day that gave me I had a black nurse, and she gave me, I had two nurses. One was black, the other wasn't. And my black nurse gave me a Tweety Bird sticker for my flu shot. So, I think she noticed that I was uncomfortable. I get very uncomfortable in hospitals. And she was very nice. Okay, so this black woman doctor brought up a study done at Cornell that stated men who financially depend on their partners are more likely to cheat. It's also a fact that intelligent men are less likely to cheat. These are facts. I don't understand how you can be a man and be offended by that. If I was a man and I heard that and I didn't feel intelligent, I would pick up a book, the nearest book. Okay, start there. Take a look. It's in a book, all right? Reading Rainbow. Okay, I would read in Rainbow and not be defensive about how life works, right? So, and we talk about that on here. We've talked about that reality that most men, and there are men out there that will respect you for being the breadwinner, and, won't be passive aggressive about it and won't be abusive about it. And, but a lot of them will be. And cheating is a way for them to enact abuse onto the women that they're with, right? So that they can feel like they have some power, right? It's like, dude, just get a job and make some more money. You got one job and don't make enough money, get another job. I know they hiring. And the pandemic left so many jobs open. I saw more Black waiters in New York than I've ever seen in the over a decade that I've been there. So they are hiring in various industries right now. There is no excuse. So that was Dr. Travie. Okay. And again, I want you guys to understand how an attractive, charming, tall, handsome, doctor, educated man, confident man sees this issue. Okay? He's not yelling at Black women because some white guy wrote an article about, the economics of marriage in America. Okay? So, some guys were mentioning, they trying to look at relationships like it's all about survival. That's what it is. Life is about survival. If you don't see life that way, good on you. I don't like hanging out with, a lot of people went to that Travis Scott concert who didn't see life as survival. They were most of them were young, right? But I think age and maturity definitely will teach you that life is about survival. So a relationship is about surviving. I can't have you bringing me down. Don't let me down. I cannot have you bringing me down. I can't. Now, you can have a rough day. You can have a rough week. You can have a rough month. A rough year. Get it together. Get it together. I'm not your mama. Right? Because a guy would be quick to tell you, you're not my mom. Right? I don't want to be. Relationships are about survival. Picking the best partner for the long road ahead. And if you are willing to take a chance on your survival. Oh gosh, Percy, what are you doing? Percy says, Danie, I must add some male energy in the chat. Yes, women do outnumber men in uni. Are you British, Percy? But these studies don't take into account all the men who go to trade school. I'm a six-figure earner. Hey, I can see that. Okay. And that's why I continue to say, if you've been listening, Percy, I have said you need to go to college or trade school. And I absolutely understand that blue-collar men can make a lot of money. There's no denying that. And a lot of guys that go to college, which is why guys stop going to college. Because guys that go to college, they can't get a job in anything they majored in. They end up having to go to a trade school anyways. Because, guys will major in things like poli-sci or psychology. Then they won't be willing to go to grad school after undergrad. You have to continue your education. There are certain degrees that mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing without a graduate school degree. Nothing. And a lot of people, I went to college, I have nobody to help me. So a lot of people don't understand that when they're going to college, right? There are certain undergraduate degrees that mean nothing unless you go to grad school and get the terminal degree in the field of your choice. And a lot of guys are like, I just did 4 years of this. I don't want to do anymore. So they leave, they're ready for the workplace, and they learn how hard it is. And, they end up getting a job, making it however they make it. So while the article doesn't specify trade schools, again, please listen to what I'm saying. I believe a trade school, I believe that is an education. I'm sorry, but I do. It may be, especially for a man, it may be more of an education than an undergraduate, just a general, undergraduate education. Because these guys, a lot of the times, they're not listening. They're partying the whole experience. You're not going to party in trade school. You have to be focused to learn this specific skill and or craft, right? So you make a good point, Percy. Absolutely. And again, that's why I'm like, you see how y'all can't come here playing games? Because I have repeatedly said that. You're a blue collar guy. You feel like you're a blue collar guy. I've worked with a lot of blue collar guys. Okay. I mean, I don't know if like working in a grocery store is blue collar, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I worked at Trader Joe's and, we're all breaking down the pallets. And yes, this was in my 20s, right? Breaking down the pallets and stocking shelves and, you know what I'm saying? And there were guys that would be there that would work. They'd pick up every shift. They ask all day long for people for their shifts. Work, blah, 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 blah. I find that appealing. So please understand that. I think that women that don't want you to work are women that are very clingy and want you to spend time with them. And then one day they realize, oh, we have no money. Because you wanted him to spend all this time with you. Men don't have time to spend with you. They have to work. They have to make money. All right? My husband left at 7:30 a.m. and he will get back at 7:30 or 8 p.m. or later. Enjoy the little bit of time you have. Okay, he's got to work. And a blue collar guy that's on his business. I've told y'all a million times before about the Hispanic Latino. I'm sorry. I don't think they want to be called Hispanic. I think they prefer Latino. If you're Latino or Latina, you let me know. But I believe they want to be called Latino, not Hispanic, because Hispanic only refers to Spanish-speaking countries. Okay, so the Latino men that came to work on my house and were telling me, hey, we work for this company 9 to 5, but when we're done, we work from 5 to 8 on our own. We rent a van, and we go around doing the same construction work that we're doing here, but we do it on our own, and all of the money we keep. You see what I'm saying? A man that wants to work, okay? I have a good friend who, is a maintenance worker. I met him in grad school. He was a maintenance worker at my grad school. He was one of the only people. You got to understand, these people were very racist. Percy says something else. Thank you for the super chats, Percy. Okay. Just to add, thank you. I appreciate it. He says, just to add, yes, there is something about a man. All he needs to trade and he can take off. My trade was a 4-week course, no loans, and I'm 6 figures, saying this because this country got women thinking they're now better. All right now, Percy. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman thinking that they're better. Because ultimately, as a man, you show her, right? You'll show her why you're the man. Period. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of that is, women are trying to get confidence in themselves. Because Black women have been brought down for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these women are trying to get confidence in themselves. But also, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the women that talk, all that talk, they're not, a lot of them are trivesters. You know what I'm saying? Divested women are smart, intelligent, and they bring a lot to the table. They don't have this, I don't have to bring anything to the table. I'm here and I'm a woman. I think that smart women understand I'm valuable because of all the things that I can do, that I'm worth. I've invested a lot of time into my education, the same way you've invested a lot of time into your trade. And I deserve quality because of that, right? But yeah, again, you know, I don't know why people try to leave out the blue collar trade school workers. I don't, because that is what created the upper middle class, is these men. They created the upper middle class, right? So in America, at least, I don't know. Didn't I already ask this? Are you from England, Percy? Okay. So, but yeah, yes, you brought your energy, Percy, and reminded the girls certainly that, you know, blue collar men that invest in a trade, invest in a trade and learning a skill set and make themselves valuable, are just as valuable as any educated man. And I think that's the same with women. I think that if a woman, you know, there's a lot of women that are really great at makeup or fashion or hair. They didn't go to a university. That doesn't mean that somebody that went to university is a better person or of better value than them. Absolutely not, you know. And Kevin Samuels tries to make this point, right, by being like, look at me. But again, you have to keep in mind he's like 55, you know. You want money before you get to your 50s, right? And so an education, investing in an education and or a trade and or a skill is going to help you get that, right? So you've made points, Percy, and I appreciate you for bringing it up, because it's an important point. It's an important point. Naima says, Percy, you all up in the female content creators chat, but I get it, because they are all beautiful. Aw, all right, Percy be all up in the, just I keep telling them, you can go ahead, hit on these ladies. You know, if you like what you see, okay? You know, there's a lot of beautiful women that you can meet on YouTube. Not me though, I'm married, but you know. Okay, but thank you again, Percy, for your super chats. Appreciate it. Let's move along. See, that's what I'm saying. Percy's an op. You see how he got me on here? Being like, Percy, he's an op. But he's an op I can support. Okay, it's some ops. It is what it is. Okay. All right, appreciate you, Verse. The richest man I know is a roofer. Exactly, Mocha Mommy. Exactly. There are skills that are very hard to learn. And I think that you would be playing yourself greatly if you think just because a guy went to school for 4 years at a university, that makes him better than a hardworking blue collar man or man that went to trade school and is good at what he does, right? Because, you know, a man that uses his hands, okay, I'll take a man that uses his hands and is making that money over these talkers on YouTube any day. I don't like a guy that do a lot of talking. That's just me. That's just me. Okay? I don't like all that talking. A person says, no, I'm not British. I'm down south country boy. I swear to God, I thought you were British, Percy. I was like listening to your voice in a British accent. Okay? That changes things. Okay? It's good to know, Percy. It's good to know. And again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your energy, because I think that you have a positive energy that the ladies can see. I've always said this. I'm not interested in the gender warring. It's low vibrational. I'm not interested in it. Y'all can go ahead and do whatever y'all want. But at the same time, are we talking teams? If we're talking teams, then it's going to be, I'm going to be team black women all day. So, hey, are we talking teams? Okay. So I think that the men that are saying, oh, they think relationships are about survival, they understand that relationships are about survival. That's why they date out. That's why they have an attachment to proximity to, I call them proxies. All right. Because they need proximity to whiteness. I've dated Black men, Indian men, Middle Eastern men, Hispanic men. I've dated probably every race of guy. Okay. The one that worked and clicked with me was my husband. But make no mistake about it. For me, I was dating mindfully, looking for my right match, a man that understood that I've worked hard and I'm not interested in an adulthood full with the same problems that I had in my childhood, period. Because I didn't work 7 years to have to deal with that. So, but these proxies, they date out because they feel that non-Black women elevate their status as a man. And it's not true. It's actually not true. Could be harming you. I don't know. I'm just going to be honest. I've never seen anybody respect one of y'all for doing it because it's always so blatant as to why. There's very few guys, they'll be like, I just fell in love with her, and I'm like, I believe you. I believe you just fell in love, but for the most part, you can just, they're proxies, right? And so they're proxies because they understand that relationships are about survival and they don't feel like them alone is going to be good enough, right? Them alone in their Blackness. And again, this article is specific to educated women, a group that's mad about this article. Y'all look down. When you talking about marrying down, y'all talk down and try to look down on Black women with education. So why the F do you care what they do? Why do you care what women that you've never shown any love for? I've never seen any love on this app shown by these dusty content creators to educated Black women. All they ever do is see it as a threat, right? So what you care? What do you care? Just trying to be all in the business for no reason. You got to go build something, okay? The bottom line is Black women have watched the few Black men with resources date, mate, and marry out for decades. Now, when you see same energy, it's a problem? Y'all been doing it for decades. Eartha Kitt talked about it. She was a light-skinned woman and she wasn't good enough for the Black men that were around her. Dorothy Dandridge wasn't good enough. They wanted to cheat on Dorothy. Didn't you get mad when you look at her daughter and her daughter is basically white? These dudes told her, you can't help me. You can't help my career. Only a non-Black woman on my arm can help. So you're complaining about the marrying down article. If you're in the room, thumbs up the video and subscribe. Stop lurking in the bushes and being a hater. Stop. Like the video and subscribe and show support. That's the least you can do. It's free. Okay? Black women watched y'all do this for generations. There was never no complaints. There was never no complaints. Now, Black women are acknowledging, yeah, I'd like to marry a guy who's at least making the efforts in life that I'm making. And I think that's the bottom line here. Now, this article can have its faults for the people that want to, sit and pick and analyze every single thing about it. It's a brief, general economic article, okay? Again, non-Black people are not going to write theses with every point that proves your points. That's what they're not going to do. Y'all didn't know that? So if you're so triggered by the article, create one on your own about this topic and find a way for the numbers that you want to be right. Find a way, right? Black women wouldn't have to marry out to marry up if most Black men didn't do it first. Yeah, I said it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I said it. Black women wouldn't have to marry out to marry up if most Black men didn't do it first. And I'm talking about the ones that marry a Black woman with a degree and a job and a steady job. I'm talking about the ones that make money. Instead of saying, you know, I have a proud Black man that wants to help my community and the women around me, they go right on and leave your ass for a white girl. Get down here, go ahead, get down. I didn't see nobody mad when I had to be an undergrad, and every time that goddamn song came on, everyone in the room turned around and looked at me. I mean, why is y'all looking at me? I'm not dating these niggas. Pay attention. Man I'm with has a type. And I'm it. And any man I'm with, I'm going to be his type. Period. It's got to be a man that loves beautiful, amazing women. Not some guy looking for a proxy. Okay. So, don't say that it's not true because you're triggered because we're all poor. So how do all the rich, wealthy, well-off ones marry? They don't marry women with a college education. Not Black women. At the most, you'll get them choosing Black women to help them build and be the come-up woman, and then they skedaddle. Seen it a million times. So let's acknowledge the hypocrisy and the double standards. Okay, y'all have watched the limited amount of men in this community, in this collective, with money, with status and wealth. I'm not talking about making good money. I'm talking about the ones you see, the celebrities, high status, high ranking dudes. Consistently watching them date out. And who stays for the Black woman? Huh? Dr. Ben Carson. That's who we got. Anybody else? Dr. Ben Carson, Denzel. They love to bring up, they're like, what about Denzel? Okay, anybody new? Huh? Now Michael B trying to be the next Denzel, so he making moves. But that proxy has meant a lot to them. Getting that attention. I observed that in undergrad, especially because I went to a large university, right? Just chasing Becky's. Those dudes were chasing Becky's like Black women were not women. Now y'all mad? What you mad about? So, again, when it comes to scrutinizing this article, which is from 2015, it's an older article. The racial wealth gap has since increased dramatically. Just from 2015 to today, 2021. Black people haven't made much money, much more money since then. And white people have gotten a hell of a lot more money since then. So if someone's observing these trends, they don't owe you to stick it through. They don't. Just the same way all these black men didn't feel they owed black women to stick it through, or whatever that was that they did or didn't do, right? Understand when they're scrutinizing these articles that journalism is a highly scrutinized and fact-checked industry, okay? Because they love to try to be like, well, it didn't say this, and they didn't mention that, and then what about this, and what about that? They're not going to tell y'all everything y'all want to hear. They don't have to. Journalism is highly fact-checked. They're not going to print an article and let it stay up and it's statistically false. They're not going to do that. So the article is legit. You can be in your feelings about it, but it is what it is. The article specifies black women in the discussion about women losing $25K a year marrying down, because black women are the majority group of women who fall victim to that trend. Or fall susceptible, however you want to see it for yourself. Again, I think that if a woman is willing to marry down, then let her. I'm not going to try to save her. I'm not going to put my cape on for her. She's on her own. This is the lesson. Here and now. Here and now. This is the lesson. You don't get to be saved after you made your choices. A lot of the people that dislike this article, the guys that are hating on this article on social media, are stating that racism is left out of the conversation about why black men specifically, have so little wealth. But they never came out and said black men have little wealth. They said black men don't want to attain higher levels of education the way other groups do. That's what they said. Y'all think y'all can get money another way? I know a lot of y'all are getting it off YouTube. So racism is not left out just because they don't give you a plethora of statistics about why black people are poor. I think we know why black people are poor. I think we know the systems and the setups and the things against us. I think we know the things that, I said before on here. Is it a generational curse? Or are you dropping the ball that your ancestors worked so hard to pass to you? See, I play ball. All right, I play ball. And it's always the person talking about something, right here, I'm open. Right here, give me the ball. Pass the ball. Passing the ball, they missed the catch. Passing the ball, they missed the shot. Is it a generational curse, or are you dropping the ball? Our ancestors worked hard. They didn't have what we had. So yeah, I had to curb these boys because I knew my great-grandma worked too goddamn hard. She lost kids. She lost grandkids to the setups, to the pitfalls, to the landmines that they leave in the black community. And I made a promise to my great-grandmother that she wasn't going to lose her great-grand. Not this one. She passed me the ball and I took the shot. when you get the ball, make sure you got that follow-through game. Make sure you're ready to take the shot. Stop dropping the ball that your ancestors have worked so hard to give you. I mean that shit. They didn't leave racism out. They acknowledge that Black people, in fact, it's on the fucking first paragraph, the very first paragraph of the article. It's widely known that low educational attainment, neighborhood racial segregation, and a biased criminal justice system are detrimental to Black Americans' ability to climb the economic ladder. That's literally the first sentence of the article. But they sat here and said that they left racism out. How many sources do you need? Everybody knows what's going on here. No, they didn't address it the way a group of people who, and they're benefiting from your overall oppression would. I'm not sure why you expect these people to play fair or have empathy. All right, they've clearly shown that's not going to happen. The media is not here for you. I saw some thread on Twitter where this woman was going on and on about how child support, if you believe in prison abolition, I don't. I believe in defunding. That's just me. I believe in repurposing a lot of those funds. They give police departments a lot of money to work with kids. I don't think they should be working with kids, certainly not Black kids. That should go to, Black communities, so that they can give their kids dance classes and art classes and other skills. If you believe in prison abolition, they say, then you shouldn't believe in child support, because child support, apparently, the government can take the money, or I've never seen that. But y'all the only ones that stay complaining about paying child support in mass. In mass. Y'all complain the most about child support. Like, what don't you understand? The government, come on, sirs, back up. What don't y'all understand about the government? They're not here to help you. They're not here to help you. You've been duped. You've been duped. They're not here to help you. They're here to play you. So you're supposed to structure your life in a way where you don't get played. But people are complaining about child support, talking about something. If the government really cared about kids, they would just pay when the parent couldn't afford. They don't want to pay for your kids. What in the hell don't y'all understand about that? That's not where they want their money to go. They want it to go to weapons, national defense, their pockets. They don't want to help your kids. See, politicians become politicians to help their kids, not yours. Get a clue? Okay? You're gonna have to come to terms with that. People are focusing on their own problems. They are not here to help you. That's why you're supposed to go to school, go to trade school, figure something out, learn a skill set, make yourself of use, be valuable. That's why you're supposed to do that. Nobody's here to help you. You seriously think that if you're in dire need of help, that this government's supposed to help you? Have you ever seen it happen? They do the bare minimum for a developed nation. They do the bare minimum. And mostly it's all set up. people focus on their own problems. So if you allow your problems to compound because you're not interested in marrying on your level, you allow your problems to compound, you're going to find that you're living a life where you have to deal with a lot of problems. That's what you're going to find. You're not going to find some government being like, I'll help you through it. It don't work that way. Stop teaching your children to expect any more because it's not going to happen. Everything that the dominant society does is to empower their race. And then y'all turn around and infight in gender war. You're mad at the guy that wrote the article, but you're telling black women you get what you deserve. You don't deserve any better. Well, the other groups aren't doing that. That's why they have more money. More money, more power. And that's how it works in a capitalist society. And education is one of the only ways that you're going to be able to get that when you're starting from nothing. It's not going to be trying to be a YouTuber. It's not going to be trying to get your rap career off the ground. It's not going to be trying to be a Spotify artist. Do that on the side. I have friends with whole record studios in their dorm room. You can do that shit on the side. It's time to start focusing on education. Y'all want all the statistics about why you're not on top. But first say why we're not on top. Say why we're not on top. They're not going to give you that. Y'all want size 4s and long, silky, shiny hair. You don't care about why a lot of black women aren't size 4. You don't care about the statistics of why. They can't sit there and be like, can we explain to you why maybe living in the hood and having to depend on corner store food? Y'all want to hear all that. Even though y'all waistlines are struggling too. Y'all want to hear all the statistics? Get to the point. You're not a size 4. You're not a size 4, right? And you're not on top. Cold world. Let's help each other. Let's help each other. But y'all don't want to do that. Okay. Women want what they want too. Women want what they want too. Men always think, oh, men want this, and then that's the end of the conversation. That's not the end of the conversation. And women are being more empowered and more into a position where they can get what they want. So, hey, tough. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not a comprehensive thesis. It's an article that quickly arrives to its point. Okay? You're going to lose $25,000 a year. If you choose, as an educated woman, to go invest in your education, do all of that work, do all of the work that it takes, and then you marry any who shot John, it's going to cost you $25,000. Okay? And that's for all women. Again, they only specified black women because black women, by and large, end up doing this. Other women do it in smaller numbers. That's why they specify black women. It affects all women. It affects all men. Y'all try to make everything about you. And you're looking goofy on it when it comes to this one. If you're trying to make this about you, it's stupid, okay? It says a white or black woman who marries someone less educated will suffer a household income of $25,000 less a year. Because educated black women more frequently marry a less educated man, the income deficit affects black families more often. So for the dudes that were like, they wrote this specifically about me. That's crazy, really? Wow. Wow. Right? That's what y'all love to say. Generalizations exist for a reason. To show a pattern of how behavior affects outcome. People who go to college fail in real life. People who don't go to college succeed. But generally, people who go to college will make more money than people who don't. All right? That's a generalization. And I don't know how trade schools are, taken into consideration on that. I know arts don't seem to be very much taken into consideration. And we know that, Black people make a good amount of money off of the arts, off of sports, off of entertainment, right? So I don't know how much the entertainment industry, including the few people on YouTube that can make decent money off of it, like Kevin Samuels acting like there's another Black man on here with the numbers that he has. There isn't. They're trying now. They're trying while they're playing victim, right? But they're trying to do the Kevin Samuels formula, which is disparaging Black women to build an audience. They say he's dating Brittany Renner now. That's what they say. I saw him flirting with her on his little video. Ain't she a baby mama? I told you I met Brittany Renner. I met Brittany Renner at that football game. The video is up on my YouTube. The football game that Juju was playing at in Brooklyn many years ago. She is boy crazy. Okay? She is, I promise you, she is exactly what she is showing y'all. She is exactly what she is showing y'all. I promise you that. Okay, ain't he dating her now? But he told everybody else, oh, don't date these baby mamas. She said she didn't want to date nobody over 50. He's over 50, but he didn't cuss her out the way he cussed out everybody else. Because men want what they want. They'll say one thing, and they'll do another. So again, generalizations exist for a reason. To show a pattern of behavior. Generally, going to college will help you make more money. And it is wise if you're going to invest in going to college, which again, right now, college is free in a lot of places, very cheap. It costs a lot less than it did when I had to go to college. So it's really just no excuse at this point. They want to stay focused on the exceptions. Kevin Samuels is an exception. He's not the general rule. He's not. Okay? If you can afford to date, a guy that reviews perfumes and fragrances and fanny packs until he makes it at 50, go ahead. He'll probably have a couple of divorces in between there and missing child support payments, but go ahead. Take a chance. Now, again, they're talking about educated women. And on here, these dudes don't like educated women. It's a bunch of women on here that I'm not shading nobody for going to college or whatever, but I mean, you have common sense or you don't. And a lot of these chicks don't have common sense. They don't understand. They're not objective. They're subjective. They're male identified. And it's those very same women who are trying to shame other Black women into marrying down with them. They're trying to shame Black women into investing time, energy, money into an education, only to turn around and marry a man who didn't want to do the same. Because they're willing to do it. They're trying to convince women to not go to college at all so that they don't look like a threat to these dudes, because they are threatened by educated women, these dusties. They are absolutely threatened by educated women because they want to manipulate. They want to take advantage. They want to be users. And that's going to be a lot harder to do on an educated woman. So they're trying to convince you to stick around with them because they know how sucky it is. And they don't want to be alone. And they don't want these dudes to keep looking out instead of focusing on the women that's here tap dancing for them, doing everything they ask. But yet and still, they can't stay focused on the women that are doing what they ask. And that makes these women mad. And there are so many women on YouTube that everything they say is just is Black male identified. You got to understand, everyone is pro their group and everyone is pro their gender. Only Black women are told that we can't be pro our gender because we have to do what's in favor of the man. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Especially when no man never did shit for me. Now that's just the bottom fucking line. I know Black women that have married and dated out and they had a whole Black daddy, paid all the bills and loved them and everything. And their daddies told them to date and marry out. I ain't had none of that. So I don't owe nobody shit. Y'all are growing up with these big mamas telling y'all that somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you anything. The world doesn't owe you anything. If you're in the room, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. There are over 7 billion people on Earth. Time to start eliminating weakness from the dating pool. I mean, period. Again, if you hate educated women, there's a woman out there for you. Move along. Right. Pharaoh says, I cannot date and marry down. I need money like I need air. Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. How am I supposed to breathe with no air? That's like telling Chris Brown to breathe without ablation. Can Chris Brown breathe without ablation? I don't think so. Fuck out of here. And nobody tells him to do it. Nobody's sitting there saying, Chris Brown, you're going to have to breathe without ablation. No, he won't have it. That's where he wants his money to go. Government's not here to raise your kids. Sorry if I tell you that. I'm telling you now. And I'll see so many people being like, well, people that don't think that way, they just never been poor. I've been poorer than anybody I've ever known. I've been poorer than anyone I've ever known. Government's not here to help you. Nobody wants to help you raise your kid. Nobody. Bang, bang. Stats don't lie, but Dusties do. Stats don't lie. A Dusty always will. Please remember that. Ron T says, sorry, that's another problem. Black women want men that make as much or more than them, but those men don't want those women and they ignore 80% of the other men. Not sure what you mean by that, Ron T. Maybe you'll elaborate. The old lie that black men are intimidated by educated women, when reality is the more educated a woman gets in, the more money that higher her standard becomes, which is fine. Oh, absolutely. There's a bunch of lies on here. Like that black men don't care. We don't care about your money. Cap. Is that what you're saying right here, Ron T? Because it looks like that's what Ron T is saying right here. They very much care about your money. And we see it all the time. But they'll honestly be on here. We don't care about your money. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's why I don't have no money when it comes to dust. I don't have no money. I don't have money for men. That's just me. I don't. Let's see. Ron T says, and turns around and says there's no good men out there. Well, I've never said there's no good men out there, because I got mines. Nope, I'm not dating any man with less than me. I don't want no grown ass dependent. Right. I wish I would be worried about a bill with a peen in my house. There's a peen in my house. Took a while to figure out. I got a peen in the house. I'm not touching a garbage can. And I'm not paying no bills for a peen. Nah. I'm not. If I have to pay my own bills, then I'll be by myself. I don't pay bills for peen. Okay? Peen pay bills for me. Okay? Ron T says, so how many of you black women who don't date a man that makes less than you actually find men that make more that want to marry you? Well, I do. And, I found my husband, like I said, I went to college. I used my brain. My husband is a very intelligent man. The math. Okay? He's a mathematician as well. The math. I worked my ass off in school. He worked his ass off in school. That's somebody I can see myself building the future with. Somebody that understands that this life is work. If you don't understand that, then okay. It's a lot of people that don't understand that. And guess what? They belong together. Those are the people that belong together. I don't want no dude that don't understand that every day is work with me. I don't want no dude that don't understand that every day is work to be the father of my children. I don't. Because you know who didn't understand that every day is work? My worthless ass bio daddy. This is a bum that didn't understand that every day is work. He didn't understand, cause everything is rent. Everything is rent. Rent. How you gonna pay? How you gonna pay? How we gonna pay? Last year's rent, this year's rent, next year's. How you gonna pay the rent? Sorry, that's one of my favorite musicals. Rent. Oh, how you gonna pay? It's a great musical. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Okay. I won't kiss a man that don't understand that. That's just me. I won't give you a kiss. I won't give you a wink. I won't give you a hello. Again, I work my ass off. I grew up in foster care in the fucking hood. I'm not trying to be broke as an adult. Let's go. I'm here to break these generational cycles that I didn't ask for. Let's go. And my husband liked my drive because in his experience, women were very entitled. In his experience, where he came from, in the suburbs in his communities, he felt women were very entitled. You talking about black women think they don't have to bring none to the table. No, that's every other group of women with no problem will say, I don't have to bring shit to the table. I'm a woman. I'm here. I knew I had to work hard because I never depended on nobody else. I was planning on doing it for myself. And then my husband came into the picture and said, you're not going to do it yourself. I'm going to hold you down. Holla. Okay. Ooh. Okay. They also claim they don't care about our degrees, projecting their feelings of inadequacy and lack of higher education. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 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 It's like, why are you trying to shame Black women out of education? The Black community needs to focus on education the way other groups of people do. Need to. Why y'all thinking y'all not winning politically? You got to educate yourselves. Nia says, I'm engaged to one. Ooh! Ron T says, well, I'm happy for you. What about the rest of the women? Okay. 1 in 4 Black women get married and it's in their lifetime. Well, you know, like I said, they're trivesters. Okay. Divestment is not a nasty word around here. To me, as I've always stated, to me, divestment is breaking these generational cycles and curses, first and foremost. You can't do that. You cannot heal in the same environment that you were hurt in. And I've always been willing to walk away from everybody. I've always been willing to walk away. I live on Pluto as a hermit, you know, and I've had family members being like, oh my God, why did you ghost the people? We family. I thought you cared about family. Care about yourself. Did you care about me? I walk away from it all. That's something a trivester won't do. So that's why those numbers look that way, because they'll say one thing, just like the Dusties on here are saying one thing and doing another. It's a bunch of trivestors on here saying one thing and doing another. He said, Black women going to take accountability for their basic disrespect of all Black men. That's destroying the Black community and has already destroyed the Black family. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. I mean, look, maybe you need to change the women that you're hanging around. Maybe you need to change the women you're hanging around. Because I've never seen that. I've never seen that in real life. So, you know, y'all are gender warring online, and I don't know what y'all expect when y'all choose to gender war with one another. That's how y'all choose to interact. Y'all don't want to uplift one another. The men started it. You can say men started it. Men started the social media gender war, period. And I think it came from a sense of inadequacy in the real world. I think it came from a sense of inadequacy in American media that Black women don't control. Oprah is not Black women. Y'all was mad at Oprah for a long time. Okay, that's great. Oprah is not Black women. Oprah is an individual. Just like Ben Carson is an individual. Are y'all all Ben Carson? No, you're not. So are you saying only men marry up? Right. I get approached by men that make more than me all the time. We work in the same field. Exactly. I mean, it's not difficult, especially if you go to college. I immediately, I went to private school on scholarship. So I've always grown up and been around people whose families had more money than me. And they got their worth from that. A lot of people get their worth from what their parents make. I knew that shit didn't matter, and I'm not interested in that. And I'll actually touch on that later. But yeah, again, watch out for these pick-me's that are trying to shame Black women into mediocrity alongside them. The numbers are the way that they are because, they can't all be saved. They don't want to be saved, I've had people be like, you told me this and you told me that. And I'm like, and did it stop you? Did it ever stop you from thought bopping about? No! You still thought bopped? So what the fuck do you care about what I had to say? Like you didn't have your opinions about me, how I was living my life. Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? Why you always staying in the house? Blah, 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 blah. Because I'm focused, man. I'm not interested in thought bopping. I'm not interested in being used for stroke practice. Period. Video after video. Chat room after chat room about why do black women marry different races of men? What do you care? Because you will never see them on here saying, we love black women, you are beautiful. You'll never see that. Just don't be like, oh, what you want to marry out? Oh, bitch, you suck. The article, this article says black women are least likely to date out. But they'll still come on and say what this guy said. He said, overall general lack of disrespect, Ronti, for black men. I don't have to respect black men as a group. Black men as a group haven't done shit for me. You don't have any industries. You don't have any businesses. I can't go to you to get a fucking job. Y'all get a job. You see the little bit of jobs that y'all had to offer? You see who y'all give them to? I don't have to respect a whole group of men. Fuck out of here. Now let's stop pretending that y'all sitting up here protecting all black women. Because y'all be like, you gonna have to do this, and this before I would ever protect. So you're not gonna do it. So let's all move along. I don't expect you to do it. That's why I live in a gated community. The armed guard at the gate will do it. Don't think everybody gonna sit around forever sitting there hoping and wishing and praying and begging? Not all of us. You ain't fool all of us. So why are they so triggered about an article about a group of women that they refuse to value? Do y'all feel valued by these men that are pissed about this article? I wonder even these pick-me's. Yeah, you call me a pick-me, but y'all was on here calling black women derogatory racial slurs. And you want to sit here and complain about being called a pick-me? If the shoe fits. I've never even heard them say that these men value them. They say one thing and these guys are down their throats. One thing. They don't support nobody but the Godfather. Constantly looking for a daddy. But I thought y'all all had daddies, and the daddy crisis, the deadbeat daddy crisis isn't the issue. So it is an overall general lack of respect for the whole group. I'm not going to respect a whole group of people I don't fucking know. The fuck? Y'all already said y'all not going to protect black women. So why are you still looking for respect? Is this a matriarchy? A lot of y'all sit on here and be like, it's a matriarchy. It's been a matriarchy. You have no idea what a matriarchy is. It's been a matriarchy for 40 years. So why would you need submission and respect if it's a matriarchy? Shouldn't you be submitting and respecting me? Y'all don't connect the dots. There's no comprehension. Again, you cannot debate with people who are subjective. You cannot. Marrying down refers to the economic, socioeconomic standing and prospects, okay? And that's how the world works. Just like y'all preferential beauty standards. If it don't apply, let it fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. That's what y'all told us to do all these years. Again, notice that their response, whenever they get mad about Black women marrying up and out, their response is never to say, we love Black women, we're going to work hard to prove that to you. The response was, y'all the least married demographic. You see it just now. You see it just now. You just did it. Y'all the least married demographic. Y'all have no options. Y'all not marrying down. Y'all get what y'all deserve. Who's gonna respect that? Huh? Who's gonna be like, oh my God, that's what I've always been waiting for? A fool. And a lot of them are fools, and that's why you have those numbers. You have that 1 in 4 number, I promise you. For the ones waiting around like a fucking fool, waiting for IBM, waiting for a unicorn that will never appear. Marrying down leads to the continuation of generational poverty. So you went to college and did all of that work for what? This is about educated women who have invested in their education, who made a choice. This is not for all women. So then I'll have somebody who ain't did shit because she doing what these dudes told her to do, which is don't go to college and listen to what we say and use that as your Bible and use that as your reference point. One of these pick-me's will pop up and try to debate what I'm saying when I'm not talking to you, because the article's not about you, boo. It's about educated women. Y'all don't want to get educated, then y'all can have each other. All right? You can't see me, but I just did the Summer Walker back to the streets. I give you back to the streets. Y'all can have each other. It's a party. What is y'all complaining about? Went to college and did all that for some kibbles and bits? Again, if he went to trade school and he's got a plan, you can see he works. He's working hard. He's determined. Great. But just some dude popping up being like, I like you. I'm whispering, talking to you. Rubs hands like Birdman. I don't care. I can't do nothing with you rubbing your hands. Is your bank account like Birdman? Then if they get with the Birdmans, right? Oh, they like thugs. They like thugs. You notice you can't do nothing right? Did you notice that? Did you notice how you can never do nothing right? Whatever you do, they just find a reason that they don't like you. Because they don't like you because they don't like themselves. Okay? And they only get jealous when they see another man with something that they could have, should have valued, but didn't. It's jealousy because it's insecurity and feelings of inadequacy. It doesn't have anything to do with actually loving and wanting the women. That's why they can't say nothing nice to you when they're mad at you about not dating them. They have nothing nice to say to you because they don't care about you. They care about the fact that you're making them feel inadequate by what you're doing, because you're supposed to be constantly validating their desirability. When they tore yours down, again, I don't see not one picture on white manosphere of a white woman covered in body fluids. Y'all got about 5-6 videos up. Y'all disgusting. Y'all are fucking disgusting. Truly. Y'all want to post pictures of black women covered in bodily fluids and then sit there and talk about something. This educated black woman is not marrying one of us. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm supposed to marry a man that expects me to submit to every man I see? I'll be damned. supported that. Y'all should have stayed y'all asses, all these deadbeat daddies. You should have stayed and raised your kids and instilled that in them. There are a lot of men that instill that culture within their women. I didn't do that. Marrying up and at least on equal footing helps to ensure financial stability and a higher quality of life. Now, nothing is guaranteed, okay? Right? You're like, that's not guaranteed, but it's a general rule, okay? It's a general statistic. That's why it's used. Nothing is guaranteed. Yeah, okay. So why play games and take chances if nothing's guaranteed? If nothing's guaranteed, why go in the opposite direction? Because y'all do that a lot. Y'all do that a lot. And I'm supposed to pick up the slack. I told you I had a male family member tell me I should be humble when I was over in Italy. I was in Rome on my honeymoon. I'm at the Vatican, and this whack-ass nigga is calling me, talking about something. Well, I mean, congratulations, but I mean, you do think you all that. Bitch, I been thought I was all that. What's up? You flip burgers, nigga. You ain't going toe-to-toe with me, ho. I can't stand that shit. You think you better. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Bum. Who the fuck calls somebody on their fucking honeymoon and does that? This little bum-ass nigga didn't give me not no one gift, not a card, not nothing. He thinks I'm supposed to kiss his ass. Because somebody told him that I'm supposed to kiss his ass. I want to know who the fuck told you that. Thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room. I gets really raw. I gets really raw at the end of the video. Hey. Now, what's up? Shit. Again, Percy brought this up earlier, but this is a point that I was going to bring up as well. Marrying a blue-collar man is completely fine if he has ambition and he values education and he's running his own business. He's, hustling. He's focused. That's still a great, matchup. I believe that. And most importantly, he isn't looking for a woman to help validate his worth or build him up. Now you want to build him up? Go ahead, sis. Nobody's stopping y'all. They're going to make video after video. But why do they want to date out? Nobody's stopping you from being a come-up woman, sis. Go do that. Go do that. I ain't doing shit for no man because no man did this shit for me. But my husband, he's the only man in this world. And Percy, shout out to Percy for the super chats. Fuck. Percy get respect when he comes into the room. So far, so good. Where you say you was from, Percy? North Carolina, South Carolina? That's where my family from. Southern gentlemen. I don't know the rest of you. Y'all don't want to offer immediate support for y'all group of women, so you're not going to get immediate submission. No, you're not. I already talked about this in my other video. You have to build and compete. You can't have your woman out here working 24/7, submitting to the next man, and then coming home and have to submit to you. No woman wants to do that. They ain't tell y'all that? Nobody wants to submit to two masters. Just one. That's enough. Now, when we talk about who's in the labor force, who's doing the work, okay? Don't forget Black women, okay? Black women make up 53% of the Black labor force. And this is according to Economics Daily. All right, Cynthia. Hey, you cite your source? Bitch, go to college, you want cited sources, ho. I spent 4 years in college. Y'all steady want a 101 class. You want a 101 class? Go to university. They got 101 over there. This is 401. You understand? This is 403. Advanced. But yeah, go ahead, take a look if you like. Black women make up 53% of the black labor force, according to Economics Daily. This information is available on bls.gov. That is a much higher percentage than other women in the labor force. Okay? According to those numbers, the black community is the only community where the women outwork the men. Now, almost every single group of people, women out-educate the men. So stop being defensive. Stop being defensive. If you don't like the numbers, get up and change them. You can't bully people out of stating facts. This is information found on bls.gov. They let it be like, well, there's more black women, that's why. Black women are 53% of the total black population. It's not that much more. So it's not because black women outnumber black men that these numbers exist. It's because they outwork them. I think y'all get a lot of love. I know I had black male family members thinking that I was going to let them sleep on one of my couches. It's not going to happen. I don't want no adult under my roof but me and mine's. Again, most all women out-educate their men in every group. That's just the way it is. If you want that to be different, you don't bully people out of speaking the facts. You change it. You be the change you want to see. How hard is that? And this is why I don't do the whole back and forth with men that don't value education, because we don't speak the same language. If you have a subjective view of life, that there's not much further we can go. Now, I personally had middle class white men hit on me, but they were trying to do it on the low because they wanted to marry a white woman whose family ensured him financial stability. So men do this across the board. Men marry up. They want to pretend like it's something else. They'll want to pretend it's about love. If you loved your wife so much, you wouldn't have been trying to with me a week before the wedding. Little shit like that. Little shit like that I've noticed. Men marry up. Men marry for money all the time. My husband didn't have to move that way because he was confident in himself as a man to be with the woman he wants and to be successful at the same damn time. He knew he was going to be successful because he worked hard. It's just that simple. If you work hard, eventually it will come. No, it's not going to come automatically. No, it's not going to be easy. I've told y'all before that my biological father, would tell us about, he was a deadbeat that popped up from time to time. I know a lot of people don't know their biological fathers that are deadbeats, but the deadbeats, they vary, right? My biological deadbeat was a popper, all right? He was a pop-up. And anyways, he would tell us stories about how they called him the N-word in the military. And that's ultimately why he chose not to stay. I'm like, they called me the N-word in school. They call me the N-word when I'm at work. I've been called the N-word too, but I didn't give up. I didn't quit. You gonna have a bunch of kids and then be a quitter? That's sick. That's sick. I've never heard anything like that. I'm not gonna quit on my cat and dogs. Cats and dogs. They didn't ask to be here neither. Kids don't ask to be here. But y'all want to sit up there. They made it hard. Yeah, it's hard here. Your whole life should be battling these systems against you. Instead, you've made your whole lives about gender warring with women. Very sad. Dark-skinned Black women have to listen to light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin all of their lives. But they can't prefer to marry a man that they meet in college? Someone on their level who understands and values the importance of education? But we have to grow up here in light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin. And shout out to the light skin sisters. I don't have nothing against you personally, just be honest. I feel like you guys are very much used. You are used by these dusties, okay? And, there's some, dusties with money too. But ultimately, they use y'all to fight with other women, and, so it's a lot of sisters out here getting used for stroke practice. I think to have an inflated sense of ego based on Blackistan, I think that's a tragic thing to see, to be honest. I'm like, there's a lot of women out here that have an inflated sense of ego based on Blackistan, and I'm like, that's not the world. I keep telling y'all, I've been around the world and yeah. I've been around the world and yeah. Black women are exotical in the world. I spent a month in Eastern Europe. There wasn't a day that someone didn't ask me for an autograph. There wasn't a day that someone didn't ask me for an autograph or a picture. I'm just being honest. So, the fact that Blackistan has created and caused so much division between lighter skin and dark skin Black women, very sad. Very sad. And I feel like the men are to blame for that, without a doubt, because of their colorist preferential, antics, right? Yeah, but good luck with all that, superstar Blackistan shit. Y'all spend all y'all time on this app downplaying and trying to degrade unsuccessfully Black women who are educated. Now you're mad when they marry men that are also educated. Then you're just gonna be mad. There's not gonna be no back and forth debate. You understand? It is what it is. The ones that will have you will have you. The article mentions how Black women are among the least likely to marry outside their own race. Again, this is a point that, especially I've noticed on C House, that they will lie and say is not true. I've been in rooms where these guys are like, that's not true, we must know it. And they put up their little circle, charts, right? And their little crayon statistics. They'll take a screenshot of like the bottom of a page with statistics on it, like just random spots of the page with statistics on it. They'll just take like a random screenshot. I'm like, what is this? What does this mean? This doesn't mean anything. They're like, this means. I'm like, this doesn't mean anything. Oh my God, I'm trying to help you out. Take a psych stats class. You don't know what you're talking about. So, Black women are among the least likely to marry outside their own race. That's why their marriage rates are low. Because they're waiting for y'all to marry them. So marry them so that, you know what I'm saying? So that everything that we say, so that when I'm having this conversation, it's a lie. It's a lie. All you got to do is marry them. It'd be a bunch of pygmies on here that'll be like, I'm not married, but I'm like, why not one of these? I mean, they got you picking for them. Why won't they marry you? You would think by now one of them would have slid in the DMs, would have popped up in real life, being like, hey, I saw you picking for us on YouTube. I appreciate you. Can I marry you? They don't do that. The trend of Black women choosing not to get married at all is more noticeable. This is what the article says. More noticeable than the fact that all educated women will lose $25,000 a year-ish being married to men who don't have the same level of education and or ambition to make money and succeed as they do. The article also notices that Black women just don't get married at all, right? Because again, if you get knocked up by some guy thinking that that's going to make him marry you, you knew good and damn well you wasn't going to get married. You knew good and damn well you wasn't going to get married. That doesn't make them marry you. That doesn't make them marry you. They don't care. They don't care that you're pregnant with their child. Because if he cared, he would have never got you pregnant before he married you. If he actually cared. That's what you have to understand. When a man loves you and cares about you, he wants you to be a married woman when you're going to the hospital visits together. He wants to have the rights that a husband has at doctor's visits, in the delivery room. He doesn't want you sitting around feeling ashamed. So immediately, if you get pregnant with some guy's baby, understand that the likelihood that he's going to marry you is low. And you should have already known that, because that's what the trends show us, right? That's what their patterns of behavior show us, that they don't care that you're pregnant with their child. That doesn't mean they're going to marry you. That's why the marriage rates are so low. I don't know why they keep saying, then why are the marriage rates so low? What's your marriage rate? It ain't much higher. It ain't much higher. And you know why it is higher? Because you marry out. Because you marry what you consider to be up, which is out. Black men, more than all other groups of men combined, marry out. Date out. So the numbers of Black women getting married are low because they choose the indoctrination of Blackistan. They choose to be Black male identified. They choose to believe that a man is going to tell a woman what's best for her. If that's what she chooses, then that's on her. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to point it out and keep it moving. The indoctrination of Blackistan is choosing who you have a baby with takes less forethought than choosing whom you marry. Black people by and large attend the country's worst schools. And this has directly contributed to an environment where Black children are more likely to be born into poverty. I don't know how y'all can have those stats and know that shit and just be busting it open for any who shot John. We got a young Black girl that's missing right now from East Orange, New Jersey. I lived in East Orange, New Jersey. Thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're in the room, please. Stop lurking in the bushes. Don't be a hater. I lived in East Orange, New Jersey. I had a Black man in an EMT van follow me to the train one day. It was dark out. It was early in the morning. I was going to school. I was going to grad school. And that's where I lived. In East Orange, New Jersey. I had men there grabbing at me as I'm walking home. Don't you know I moved out of there? First chance I got. Didn't stay a whole year. Did not. Luckily, because I was in school, I was meeting people who were like, hey, I'm looking for a roommate. Places I couldn't get by myself because I was born into poverty. Getting an education helped me connect the dots. Now, this is something that the article mentioned that I found very interesting, especially, again, going back to when I was in school, people judging me for being poor and, very classist Black people that I had to interact with. Judging me for being a poor Black American girl, just to be honest. Judging me for being this poor Black American girl that wasn't as couth as them and didn't know as much as their parents had taught them about life. Like, sorry, we're just over here trying to survive the fucking crack cocaine epidemic and how that ravished our communities. I don't know every fucking thing that y'all parents have taught y'all. Hard as I worked. And I was made fun of for that by classist Black people and the plethora of PWIs that I attended, okay? Why don't I get online and talk about how the classist Black people were mean to me 24/7? And I'm not even talking about the kids. I'm talking about when I was in college as well. It's like, what kind of look is that? But that's what y'all do. Y'all get on and be like, oh, they said this, the kid said this to me. Black kids said this to me. Why are you talking about kids? Anyways, the article says 7 out of 10 Black children born into families in the middle quintile of the income spectrum will actually earn less than their parents as they become adults. 7 out of 10 Black children. Because y'all not putting the emphasis on education. They were sitting there patting themselves on the back because their parents were in the suburbs. Are you in the suburbs? Are you in the suburbs? Telling me they was better than me because their parents was in the suburbs and they had this and that because their parents was in the suburbs. I'm in the suburbs now. I don't see y'all. I don't see y'all. Where you at? So walking around cocky as fuck, that's something my kids won't be able to do. But y'all want to say, oh, well, how is Black generational wealth? Don't misconstrue Black generational wealth and building Black generational wealth with giving your kid every fucking thing that they want. Y'all not instilling the value of education. Y'all not telling these kids, this is my money. I earned it from working hard. You'll have to do the same. And so 7 out of 10 Black children born into families in the middle quintile of the income spectrum will actually earn less than their parents as they become adults. I'll always make more than my parents did because I was born in abject poverty. I'll always make more than they did. I did that at 8. I did that when I was a teenager. I had more than them. The life I have now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I only wish my great-grandmother was here to enjoy it with me. So we talk about generational wealth. And a lot of people were talking about Shaquille O'Neal saying he's going to make his kids work. He's not just going to give them his hundreds of millions of dollars. And people were saying, oh, well, how are you going to have black generational wealth if you're not going to just give your hundreds of millions of dollars? Maybe he'll give that money to kids that need it. Instead of all to his kids to frivolously spend however they want because they didn't earn it on their own. You think those kids don't have a hefty amount of money in their bank accounts? You're delusional. Shawnee O'Neal is worth $30 million. Shaquille O'Neal is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Those kids are connected in ways the average black person will never be. So y'all still just want to see black people flossing. And you're not trying to make it about education and focusing on education. I promise you, if you were educated, you'd be winning in politics. Because right now, we're not. Because you don't understand that y'all being played. You don't understand that y'all being played. Because you're not educating yourselves. And you don't have to go to college to educate yourself. I mean, you can self-educate. You can go to the library. You can go to Google, the school of Google. There's so many ways. But y'all don't want to do any of it. But you just want money. You just want black people to have money. Hey, great. I love black people have money too. But the only way they're going to continue to have it is by understanding how to manage it. You can't pass on generational wealth without the knowledge to maintain it. So, I mean, that's pretty much it on this article. I think it's a great article. It's no surprise. Whatever they're saying in here is nothing is of surprise to me. I'm going to read some of you guys' comments, then I'm going to head out. Again, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for your super chats. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all sticking with me in this little chizzy chat. Okay. Shout out to my top tier Steelies on Patreon. And shout out to my top tier Steelies here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Nia says, Ron T, because black women are race loyal and limiting themselves to black men, read the book Is Marriage for White People? The amount of marriageable black women outnumber black men by 2 million. S.C. Johnson says, I've worked too hard to be with a man that is not as ambitious as myself. Exactly. I mean, it just is what it is. Why is this even a discussion? Why is this a discussion? A lot of guys were like, oh, the women complaining about this are mad that the men that they prefer don't prefer them. Okay, well, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just to be honest. Because I prefer men with money. And they prefer me. But see, that was their response. Mocha Mommy says, I'm married as well. Typically, those of us who date out have better outcomes. This is what it is. Ron T, I'm not going to read your comments if they're disrespectful, Ron T, but we'll see so far. All right. Yeah, there are 2 million more black women than there are black men, but black women don't want to get married until they're 30 after they've been ran through and traumatized. And who ran through them? Who ran through them and who traumatized them? You see what I'm talking about? Like, y'all just give yourselves away. Oh my God. He said, ran through and traumatized. They shaking and shivering. Oh God. Okay, Ron T. Yeah. Are there mods to remove trolls from the chat? No, I don't have any mods. I just tend to ignore the comments. But if I ever do make a mod, Mocha Mommy, you'll be first. I don't even know how to make that at this point. Okay. Ron T says, I'm glad you found a husband. I'm talking about Black women as a whole, and finding a man to date is different than being married and starting a real man-woman family. What is a man-woman family? Okay. Nia says, it's true. Black women that date out are more successful statistically. Love your channel, by the way. Everybody loves you, Mocha Mommy. Here come Ron T. I make $42,000 a year on my own, home, cars paid for, yet most Black women wouldn't give me the time of day because I'm broke, according to them. Well, I don't think that you, Ron T, I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like you have an idea in your head about what Black women owe you. So that's one. I think you should adjust that. I don't believe anyone owes me anything, except for my husband. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, he just texted me. Let me just check real quick and see what he said. Leaving now. Okay. Yeah, and you know what? I don't think that's true. Ron T, there's so many Black women that only want to be with Black men. Again, the article emphasizes that Black women are like the least likely to date out. So you guys have so many Black women that want to be with you. Are you looking for the women that want to be with you, or are you looking for the same, 10 women that y'all love to chase? Y'all can't all be with Lori Harvey, right? It's Lori. Okay. Welcome, Mommy says, I am working with young Black women to network in real life and online. There are some success stories out there. Keep setting the example. Thank you, Mocha Mommy. You as well. LB says, Ron T, I think the issue is that you're comparing your income to that of women rather than other groups of men. True. Mocha Mommy says, that's true. My father did not work 2 jobs to send his daughters to private school to marry a nice guy. No patriarch does that. Exactly. Exactly. They want to make sure their kids are taken care of. Insurance is expensive. Y'all see these prices keep going up. Bacon getting expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, life costs money. And no man that worked his ass off is going to tell his daughter to marry for love. My world said maybe if they'd gone to university, they would understand these nuances. I know. I'm like, y'all gotta go to class, okay? Even I was on Twitter and there was this young, 18-year-old guy trying to argue with me. And I was like, stay in school, bro. Come on. I teach kids your age, man. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I was trying to humor you, but grow up. You'll have to grow up. You're not on my level. Okay? You're just not. I don't know why you would be 18 and trying to have adult conversations. Go play with some Legos, bruh. The fuck? Fuck out of here. Ron T says, you think about it, how many white men do you see with overweight Black women? Not many white men don't want no uncooperative woman with an attitude. The truth is, y'all don't know other races of women. Y'all are not really exposed to them. I know a lot of white people, and white women can be very uncooperative. They tend to get large in their marriages. I don't know why y'all think they all stay skinny and shit. They blow up like the next, and they have an attitude. I don't know if you've ever seen Karens, but they have an attitude. 3/4 of these Karens have a husband. So, that's, again, y'all, if y'all went to school, y'all would meet other people and y'all would understand that what you're experiencing is not specific to a race. What you're experiencing is probably due a lot to poverty, You know, when people are broke, it's not fun times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would expect to see, you know, like where I'm almost everywhere that I've lived with my husband, you have to make significantly more. Your income has to be like 7 times, you have to prove that you can make like your income like 7 times to even get in the building, right? I mean, it's absolutely absurd how much money you have to have in this life, right? So if you're offering women corner stores, and again, I brought up the East Orange, New Jersey situation with the young girl that recently went missing. And I posted a video about her because I didn't see anyone else talking about it besides the mainstream media. I didn't see anyone else talking about it at the time. And so I wanted to do a video on it to get attention out to her. I'm certainly going to be looking out for her in the tri-state area. I lived in East Orange. It's a very scary place. I would never raise a child there. I would never raise a child there, let alone send her out by herself early in the morning. And I'm not trying to make judgments on the mother. I'm just telling you what I would do. So you look at places like that, right? And it's like you expect women to be a size 4 when guys are chasing you in EMT trucks. I was a size 4 when they were doing that to me. I was a size 4 to 6. And I was terrified. And now this young girl is missing. And a lot of Black women that are size 4s and that are tiny and that y'all can pick up and throw in a white van end up missing. I would be on my 600-pound life if I had to live in the hood. I would be on my 600-pound life. Now, pick that up. I don't know why y'all expect femininity when you offer the hood. I don't understand that. You cannot sit there with a straight face and say you have never seen Black women disrespect Black men when you called men dusty. That's disrespect. That's not disrespect. I just told you, y'all posting pictures of women covered in body fluids. That's disrespect. Debbie Daddy crisis. That's disrespect. Any man that acts dusty, any man that brings dust around me is going to get called a dusty. That's nothing. That's fucking nothing. Shira 7 coined that term, and she's married to a Black man. And she never said it was about only Black men. So again, y'all get attached to marrying down and dusty. And y'all get attached to these phrases. And no man, I'm telling you now, you need to change your mindset, bruh. You need to change your mindset. Your mindset should not be, every time you hear a negative word out of a woman's mouth, she's talking about me. You want to change your mindset. No, I have not seen Black women disrespect Black men. I have not seen it. I haven't. When I was growing up, there wasn't no Black men. Just a bunch of little Black boys with no fathers that I had to take care of. There wasn't no Black men. There were no Black men around to respect. He says, because the obesity rates for Black men are low. Exactly. Thick as y'all is. Booty's popping. You be seeing these dudes, they got shelf booty. I'm like, why you got shelf booty? You a guy. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. B says, Ron, when did you become the spokesperson for white men? Y'all swear y'all know what white men want or what white men do when y'all never been around a white man. One time you've been around a white man, well, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Calling the man Dusty broke is not disrespect. Black women don't say that on a regular basis. Don't want no lames. It's nothing but disrespect. Whatever. I can't really comprehend that. Rubs hands like Birdman. Ron T says, by the way, thank you for letting me participate in your chat. It's really hard to have an honest dialogue with most Black women because they're too quick to get in their feelings. So I appreciate that. It's not a problem for me, boo. I promise you, it's not a problem for me. I'm not in my feelings about anything but the bag. I swear to God, that's the only thing I care about. Like I said, it's a cold world. But I generally, anybody that's ever been on my channel knows this. I want the best for Black people. I want Black women to be happy. And I know that a lot of Black women want to be with Black men. So I don't know why y'all not focusing on each other and loving each other and getting married. I don't know why y'all not doing that. But, you know, I've had to deal with a lot of Black women, you know, projecting onto me about how they feel about, you know, not being married and waiting to be married and all this other stuff. Yeah, I don't know why they don't just marry a guy like you, Ronti. If you're out here interested in looking to marry Black women, I don't know why y'all don't find each other. But, you know, you're gender warring all day. I mean, you know, you've said some rude things about Black women, but it don't faze me. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you ain't talking about me. So, you know, it just is what it is. If these women want to be, you know, want to never get married and, you know, want to stay stuck when they don't have to stay stuck, then that's on them. If it's up, then it's stuck. You know? You're sorry, what about what? Jealousy in relationships is an epidemic. Mm-hmm. Ron T, you're not really having a dialogue, though. It's more of a monologue. You're not really answering why you're comparing yourself to women and not men. Exactly, LB. I'll be damned. Okay? Okay? Mm-hmm. Mocha Mommy says, why is this Black male troll in Black women's chat talking about disrespect when minister such and such and the man with the color black in his name have more subscribers and use way worse language? Exactly. Again, and as I told him, I think you have an entitlement to how Black women should interact with you when you're not entitled to Black women interacting with you in any way. And again, this is something that Black women have to accept because the hatred has been so strong on here that we can't, Black women can't go into a Black man's chat and have an honest conversation, but y'all can find spaces like mine. It's not right. It's not right. And that's why a lot of Black women have created spaces where you can't get a word in edgewise. Because I don't know one Black male content creator that lets Black women get a word in edgewise and she don't have to super chat them first. Okay? Local Mommy says, why do men think we should respect them when they can't check these disrespectful dudes? Exactly. Exactly. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Y'all got a lot of work to do. Y'all got a lot of work to do. Women in this chat are married or dating up. We have to eliminate the troll. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I absolutely agree, Mocha Mommy. I absolutely agree. What is it, Ronti? What are the limit is why should Black men protect Black women who vehemently disrespect Black men? So why should Black women submit to Black men who don't want to protect them because they're focused on the Black women that are disrespecting them? And again, if you think being called a Dusty is disrespectful, that's on you. You know, then you are relating to being a Dusty, and I don't control that. You have a lot of work to do, Ron T. You have to. You shouldn't be looking for validation from outward sources. Okay. You know, you said you make some decent money. If you don't have a girl and you're single, take this free time to read some books and educate yourself on internal validation. Okay. You are right. As you achieve your goals, you will see that low vibrational men are non-factors. My husband loves that we share so many of the same goals and interests. Yep, very true. My world says I had the same family situation. Males and their mammy mothers thinking that they would come live in my house. No, ma'am. Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. Yep. I think you were talking about me talking about them being sick. Yeah. Mocha Mommy says, I got the hint pretty early that my faith, ambition, and drive were attractive in other communities. We have to get our girls and young Black women out of the matrix. The more we live our best lives, the better. Absolutely. Nia says, Dusties don't understand how genetics work. They think their kid won't get dark skin and 4C hair. Those are dominant genes. Yep, absolutely. Agreed. I see Black women who have to be breadwinners instead of moving up through the healthcare system, doing overtime instead of CEUs that can give them a work-life, balance. Absolutely. All this talk about marriage and marrying up is fine, but the reality is 1 in 4 Black women will marry in their lifetime. Again, that don't faze me, and it don't faze most of the women here. Most of the women here, we're married. Okay, so I mean that don't mean shit to me. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ron T. You remind me of a racist. How racists will say stuff to like try to trigger. You can't trigger me. I already told you I grew up in poverty. It don't get worse than that. It don't get worse than that. Growing up in poverty, having to deal with the deadbeat daddy crisis in the Black community, it don't get worse than that. So that doesn't trigger me at all. I don't care about what other Black women are doing. I don't. All I can do is offer what I try to pay it forward, what I know. I already know most of them ain't gonna listen. They over on y'all channels. They listening to Black men. Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake. I don't care. I'm married. Okay, well, hypergamously. Up and out. You understand? Star Trek. Sparrow says, I believe that Black women are going to be the fastest growing interracial daters and marrying, mark my words. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I know a lot of smart, educated women that would rather be alone than go around their friends with a non-Black guy, right? They're scared. So be alone. Stop glaring at me. Stop glaring at me in my engagement ring and asking questions about, oh, where's your husband? Making money, boo. Making money. You wouldn't know nothing about that. You wouldn't know nothing about living with a man in a hypergamous relationship for 12 years, okay? Black women, we have to encourage feminine confidence in our sisters. That's how we break them out of the matrix, not arguing. Living our best lives is testimony, period. That's why I refuse. You see, like, I'll only get hyped. If you notice, I only usually get hyped about things that I've experienced. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, y'all can come in and say, Black women won't get married, Black women isn't that. Like, I already know what y'all niggas look like. I was just in the city the other day, and a 20-something-year-old guy was hitting on me, a black guy. So, and it was a little, we had a little fun interaction. He was singing some Drake, okay, and then I was walking past him as he was singing, and he's like, "Hey, girl," I'm not a girl, but he's like, "Hey, girl, you look good." I was like, "All right, now keep singing." Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like, shit don't never stop. It never stops. So, Sparrow says, "You think Asian women got it bad with dating out? Watch and see black women numbers boom." Oh, well, I hope that that they stop limiting themselves. But if that's what they want to do, then let them do it. I don't know why y'all think. Again, I've had people in real life that I suggested them dating out, and they'll be sitting there mad. You told me not to date this dude, like who had the dude that had a felony. Yeah, I did. I did tell you that, and black men online will tell you that too. They mad that y'all want to date the ones with the felonies too. I'm not going to have somebody who makes tragic mistakes eating dinner with me. You understand that? So if you want to date a dude with felonies and ish, if you want to date a dude who spent years in jail, you're not going to be able to bring him around me. I have to protect myself. I don't want to be around nobody. Nobody, baby. Who spent years in jail. That wasn't completely exonerated and given a hefty settlement. You understand? Okay, and even then, it takes a lot of, therapy. That's not a place that makes people better. Okay? Aries girl says it doesn't mean that they will marry, nor does it mean that they will father that child. Exactly. But people will say, "Oh, we got Doc Cullum." Sorry, Doc Calum. Doc Calum, I didn't see your super chat. Do you have something to say? If you want to say something, you let me know, Doc Calum. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Sorry, it takes me a while to get to all these comments. But yeah, I can't get to all of them, so. What you got to say, Percy? How can you call K as a joke? His numbers are a joke. Views and every night numbers don't lie, baby. He has a way of making himself look legitimate when he's not. But, shout out to him and his new boo, Brittany Renner. He's doing everything he told y'all not to do. Congrats. My world says, yeah, I made more than my parents my first year out of undergrad. Okay. Yeah, exactly. See? I mean, but I don't know if you're coming from the middle class, my world. What you got to say, Ronti? Real talk, by the statistics, how many black women actually marry men in college, or do they wait until they're in their 30s or even want to be married? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. If y'all wanted to talk about statistics so much, why didn't y'all become mathematicians? Y'all could have had this discussion with my husband. He know numbers like that. I think a lot of women realize by their 30s that, oh, maybe there was a good guy that I was dating that I probably shouldn't have broken up with, because good guys are hard to find. It happens, It's not just black women. Again, Doc Calum, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate it. Very nice of you. Percy, the numbers will always be high for drama and excitement. Exactly. Come on. Like, come on. I'll drop the link right now. I'll drop the link right now. If a guy wants to come on here and I can ask him, what's your D size? All right. I got some questions myself. What's your D size? Okay. And I sat up here and was like, it's gotta be an 8. It's gotta be an 8. Oh, y'all would be so mad. I already know that. I know from experience. You guys would be mad. You guys get mad when it comes to being told y'all have to be specific numbers. What's your height? Anybody under 6 foot, you're done. Anybody under 6 foot, I'm going to start playing. Okay? Oh, it'd be a show. Anybody want to come? I'll drop the link right now. We'll do it right now. We'll do it live. Okay? That's not a problem. I can get sensational too, baby. But I would never think to like try to degrade people and hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So I would never think to do that, you know? But hey, since it's popping, I'll drop the link. Guys only. I only want guys to call in. I'm going to ask you your D size, which is something that everybody knows Kitten Scandals asks. How big is you? Okay, that's going to be the first. I'm going to ask you how tall you are. If you're under 6 feet, okay? And then y'all get mad and I'll be like, I play that with everybody. If you're under 6 feet. Okay. To be honest, I've never had a problem attracting men who are of means. Right. I don't know why y'all think so lowly of black women that you're like, what? I'm sorry. It's I can't. Like, I don't even try to brag about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't try to be like, it just is what it is. I like smart men. Smart men make money. It just is what it is. It's a natural attraction. Okay? Thank you, LB. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all all for being here. Please don't hit the video and subscribe. I'm going to have to get going soon so I can submit to my husband and make some dinner, okay? And I have to submit to my husband. He wants to watch Narcos, all right? I have to watch Narcos, and I was sick last night, okay? I wasn't feeling good. And he was like, we could watch Narcos up here. I was like, I don't want to watch Narcos. I have to pay attention to the screen the whole time because you have to, you know, pay attention to the captions, to the closed captions, or you won't know what's going on. You know, my Spanish is no bueno, okay? I only know, you know, I can only pick out probably 2, 3, 4 words every sentence. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm trying to get better with my Spanish because this is going to be, you know, this is a largely Spanish-speaking country, and language barriers are something that bothers me. I love to travel, and I was in this like boutique in Venice, Venezia, okay, in Italy. Got 2 foreign girls, they DM me, okay. And anyways, the shop girls were being rude, and they were saying, you know, some things, but I could only pick up like half of it. And I let them know as best as I could, like, you know, I can understand what you're saying, right? Like, if you understand the romance languages, you can generally make out. And I've been here for a month now. So you understand that I'm not some American that's looking to go traveling and having you talk shit and I don't know what the fuck you're saying, right? Don't open your store to tourists if you're going to be rude. And they were like, like, yeah. Anyways, I love language. And so I definitely want to learn Spanish more. I think I'm going to get into that. Something Rosetta Stone-ish, you know what I'm talking about? Shit. Ross has facts who ran through and traumatized them. Tyrone loves to deflect when accountability is questioned. Right. You didn't answer that question. Who ran through them? Oh, y'all can't get this and y'all can't do that. But you want, but you're mad that these women won't consider you. At least when Percy is over here, he doesn't speak disrespectfully about Black women. And he says, I would love to get a woman, a divested woman, because it looks like y'all got some common sense that I'm interested in. You just want to dislike Black women. You're not going to get a good one with that mindset. Right? Right? You never know. You have to hold women accountable for their actions, and the man, I don't know. They allowed to shoot the club up raw. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. You know, that's not something that I don't permit that. I don't permit that. Okay. Everything gets dropped off at the door in my club. Okay. All right. You're gonna be patted down before you come in my club. Okay. Shit. Okay. LB says, exactly. In New York City, just to rent an apartment, you have to make 40 times the rent. Exactly. I didn't know how exactly to say it because obviously my husband does all of that. It just is what it is. Okay. Shout out to men that provide and protect. Like, no one has time to play games with men who don't want to make the cut. Life isn't fair. It is what it is. Exactly, LB. Exactly. But there's plenty of women out there that'll be waiting for y'all to, you know, pick me. Those are the ones that you can get with. So go get with them. Hit dog, go holler. Okay. I won't marry any less than my set standards. Period. And, you know, I didn't start dating until Corey Haga. Hello, Corey Haga. Woo! Okay. Awesome. Ron T is addicted to pain. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Right. Somebody please explain why every point the host of the show wants to make about all Black women circles around her life and her experience. That just sounds arrogant, like you're gloating, darling. I am gloating. I've done a good job for myself. What's next? You're on my channel. So what's next? Hop up off the bins like I'm possessed. What's next? You're on my channel. I'm a gloat. I've done well. I survived. Many times, plenty times. I survived. Beef is live. Spoiler alert. Do you understand? That you sound like a family member, honestly. Do I owe you something? You about to be blocked. You know what? You about to be blocked. I don't block people, so I don't know how to do it. You about to be blocked, Ronti. Gloating? You on my channel. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you something, too. I wasn't going to hurt your feelings. But $45,000 ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. Okay, that's it. You're out of here. You're out of here. Actually, I don't know if that even worked, but you guys let me know if that worked. You're on my channel. You want some holy ass bitch that's gonna kiss your ass? Go get her. She's out there. I'm not gonna apologize for surviving. My life is good. I don't have nearly everything that I want. My standards are crazy. I told my friends in high school, I said, when we have our it was middle school or high school. I said, when we have our middle school or high school reunion, I said, I'll fly out my friends, because, your little lunch table of friends. I was like, I'm going to fly out all my friends on a yacht. I was in fucking foster care. I didn't have any lunch money. I'm supposed to apologize for something? I'm supposed to feel bad that you're talking about what black women can't get and it don't faze me because, bitch, nigga, you ain't talking about me? I'm supposed to feel bad about that, but I don't. And I was the only black woman that gave you a chance to speak, and you wanted to be disrespectful. Don't ever tell me, darling. Bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? You ain't super chatting. I didn't have to read your fucking comment. Ron T, this is a ladies' platform, and you're complaining about it being for women. What the hell, buddy? Thank you, Corey Haga. God damn! A real man. Y'all make life hell for black women. And I'm not supposed to be proud of the fact that you can't fucking touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Hard as I fucking worked. I'm supposed to be sitting up there. I see a lot of these women, they let black men come on their channel, and these niggas trying to run the channel. Go run your own, bro. Go compete with other men. I'm not going to join you in mediocrity so you don't have to feel low. $45,000 ain't shit, nigga. The fuck? And I was being nice to you. He subscribed. Well, you kicked off the channel now. I'm not even going to deal with that shit. Yup, your messages are deleted. Thank you, Corey Haga. Thank you, T. Thomas Resurrected. Appreciate you. Okay. Hey. God damn. Well. Right, in the whole world. And you over here. So weird. Anyways. No real man would be triggered by this article. Kitten heels. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Come on now. Come on now. Just looking for a daddy. That's what they mean when they say, I had a daddy. You talking about him? You talking about kitten? You talking about kitten heels? That's not your daddy. He didn't even want to parent the one child he had. I'm lucky to not have to think about it. I'm attracted to intellectuals and needs because that's what nerds. I assume that's what you mean. Because that's what I am, a science nerd. Exactly. I'm attracted to intelligent men because intelligent men think before they speak. They don't have a subjective view of life where they're walking around. Corey Haga is right. You're like an open wound, bruh. You're like an open wound. And I can't be around that. I really can't. I can't have that energy on my channel. Again, Percy comes on. He's respectful. He knows how to interact. There's certain ways to frame things. Look how Percy speaks. Y'all want to try to generalize all the time. I'm big up in Percy. Am I gloating because I'm big up in Percy? I'm a big up people that have common sense. That's me. I have common sense, so I'm gonna big myself up. Yeah. Y'all hate to see a black woman with confidence. Then this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the channel for you. I promise you, I'm not gonna say one thing that some guy who wants to benefit from trying to put me on the bottom is gonna like. I promise you that. Shit. Isn't 30K like the poverty law? Oh, God. God damn. I'm not gonna sit up here and just like make, you know what I'm saying? Like, props to you. Go ahead and make money, bruh. As nice as I am, and you gonna talk about something you gloating? When I just told you I don't like that shit, when men try to tell women to try to put women in their place. My place is at the top. It just is what it is. Shit. 45K in New York City is living with, is living with like 4 roommates in Washington Heights. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay. Somebody can explain me why these niggas think that they're the most desired on the planet. Oh my God. Oh God. Okay. To rent an apartment in New York City with 45K, you have to choose a place for 1,100, which does not exist. Right. Yeah. You will be living with 3 or 4 people on the last stop off the L. Okay. We would have. Right. Exactly. Come on. I let him play for way too long. They'd rather protect KS, but won't protect the black women. They will lay down their lives for this man. Right. Y'all go harder for another man. And then you want to attack women and then say, oh, they won't choose me. Do the math. Do the math. Women are going to like who likes them. Da-na-na-na, da-na, da-na, can't touch this. Why? Music hits me so hard. Makes me say, oh my Lord. Okay. You on my channel. I told you I just came out. I came out from nothing. He goes, so you gloating. You goddamn right I am. So let it be clear. I have a big head about myself for what I've survived in this world. Is that clear? Crystal. Sorry for the disruption, ladies. Just stop in. Aw, what a gentleman. What a gentleman. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I expect. And this is what I experience in life. Good guys. That's what I'm talking about. Like, no, I don't see black women disrespecting black men. I don't live in places where this is going on. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? If you're in spaces where you're feeling disrespected, remove yourself from the space. That's what an adult does. So, you know what? I gotta get going. My husband's gonna be back soon. Thank you again, everyone, for being here, for joining me, for super chats, for your awesomeness. You know, you can only go so far. Like I said, you can play these chicks all day. It don't faze me because they don't want to listen. They want to support. The ones that you're talking about are not the caliber and quality of women that are on my channel. The women on my channel are actually divested. We're not trivesters. We did it. Okay? So you can't offend us because you're not talking about us. But see, the thing is, y'all like to just be like, black women, you know? And it's like, just go. Y'all need to heal. I think I made it very clear that I'm not here to disparage any group of people. And I never will be. But be very clear. On my channel, I'm going to talk about how great I am. Yeah, because I did it. So you want to be around a woman that has no self-esteem, go on these pick-me channels. Thank you all for being here. I encourage you to read this article if you haven't yet, ladies. It's been a great live. I dig this live as well. I appreciate it. Thank you. Exactly. Too nice. I'm too nice. All right, Corey's from Oregon, a place I've never been. I want to visit every state in America, for my travels. You'll have to tell me one day what one does in Oregon, Corey. So thank y'all so much again. I really appreciate y'all. And I'll see you next time.